Hi. We just got done with Misfortune and Jeopardy, and I'm actually tired. So I don't know how long this is gonna last, but um, yeah, I want to be able to um, I finally finished 5 pages, 5.5 pages, I think, in my story, in Lessons in Love, and I want to be able to A, finish that, and B, actually get to um, Dreamlight Valley today because I have to get on there before Wednesday. I need to do my dream snap still. Um, I, I kept saying that I was going to do my dream snap, and then I didn't do it, so yeah. Um, I don't even know if it's an outfit challenge or what, so yeah. Um, I was disappointed. I finally got rank 14 on something. I wasn't rank, 85,602 or something like that. And I still only got 600 moonstones. It's not fair. Well, it depends on which one it was. If it was that, if it was that Christmas one that they were, saying, it might be a little different. I don't know. But, yeah, I might have done it already. Because I know I did something with those snow people. Huh, I don't know. I don't think I did though. Anyway, planning to only be on here until 10 and then do some of the um Trimlight Valley because there's some things that I need to do. It said buy milk and it said something else. Can't remember what. Anyway, I am amazed that I got through Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy as good as I did because I'm tired. My I went to sleep at a normal time, 9 something, 10 something, something like that. And my husband woke me up a little while later, like an hour or two, because he's talking to his friends on the Xbox. Makes sense, it's his day off, or, well, he worked yesterday and today is his day off and tomorrow. So anyway, he decided he could stay up late. The only problem is that, his Xbox is in the living room where I sleep because my chair is a lot more comfortable than whatever bed we had previously, and I haven't tried this one. And I won't until we can get me a decent pillow. And yeah. So anyway, I like my chair and I can sleep in it and it's comfortable and anyway, um so he got loud and I fell asleep listening to partly listening to my story or whatever was playing at the time. Yeah, I think it was my story though. So anyway, partly listening to my story and partly listening to whatever YouTube video was playing at the time. And then I woke up and it wasn't just that video, whatever video, it was my husband yelling at the Xbox because obviously it's cheating and why is my car going this way instead of that way or whatever. So anyway, so then I stayed up until like 5 o'clock in the morning. I started out working on my story, and I should have stayed that way, but I was getting a little tired, and I figured typos were going to happen. But then I was like, okay, I need to reorganize some of these videos because the ones where you're learning to build something should all be in one spot. And then when I'm able to do so, I can go and learn how to build some of this stuff. The problem is I need to put in I need to finish putting in the high school before I can put in the apartments because I've decided that they're going to go, way over there is faculty parking lot, which may have to be moved. I don't know yet. Anyway, it may have to be moved. It's a faculty parking lot, and then on the other side of the street from that is going to be the the apartments. I don't know why I decided that, but I've never had a spot for those apartments before, so that's where I want to put them. And I was trying to find one of those long videos, like Pop's Disney Adventures goes to Disneyland like every day, so I was trying to find one of those. I couldn't find it for this morning. It didn't even show me that he was streaming right now. I would have watched it while it was streaming if I could, but it didn't show me that, so can't watch it today. So I had an idea, and it's actually a good idea, but it's not going to work because this goes right up to the fence, and that's still part of this. So unless I want to make it go off that way and be at an odd angle, which I could do, I've got to adjust it somehow or redesign it or something. So yeah, I did get 5 pages, well, like I said, 5.5 pages done of my book, and I got, for the Xbox points, I got the puzzle a little more put together. I'm having a small problem with that because I went and took a picture of my kids when they were little. They're at a pumpkin patch, and they're sitting in this one spot where you can take where you can take a picture of your kids with a bunch of pumpkins, and my son's got a blue shirt with Lightning McQueen on it, and I don't know how, but that part comes out generally orange. Which is actually orangish red. They had a episode in season 6, maybe. Yeah, I think it was season 6. It says "Happy Birthday" generally. And I don't remember. I don't know why I remembered that because um, I don't even remember which episode of season 6 question mark um that it is. I think it's the first one though. It might have been season 7. But anyway, whatever season it is, um that doesn't help to take out the thing and then put it right back in. Nah, that does not help. Okay. Anyway, I think it's Happy Birthday generally, and they're like reminiscing, um, you know, how generally became part of the family, and how he got to be the color that he is, and you know, um, stuff like that. And I think they end up having a cake, and I don't remember. um, I've only, I think I've only seen that like a couple of times. I don't know why. The episode I really want to find, because I don't know which one it is the one where um oh, I wasn't done with my kids in the pumpkin patch thing. Um I'll try to remember what I was about to tell you. Um anyway, thing is that her shirt doesn't seem to connect to anything, and neither does his. I've got a lot of light blue that matches up with some other light blue, but I don't think it matches up other than that. And then her shirt is pink with Hannah Montana on it, and that's not coming together either. It's connecting to itself, but it's not connecting anywhere else. So, yeah. If he comes down and says I'm like super loud or something, I'm gonna probably yell at him. Um, anyway, he's been really good about staying upstairs when I'm streaming, and I only stream usually until 11. Yesterday was special. Um, anyway, I usually only stream until 11, so, um, so he comes down then. Or the other day, he literally slept, I think it was last weekend, he literally slept in till like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I wanted to smack him. It's just because, he's fine, he's at home, and whether he's driving me crazy or not, he needs to be downstairs spending time with the family. I realize the family is me and 3 cats, but, still. Anyway, I am tired because he kept me up. Um, so 1 2 1 2. It would be 1 2 that way, but I don't think we're gonna do that. So 1 2. Oh, well, that's not gonna work because this is water. Hmm. Anyway, so the chapter I'm working on, um, Ashley's going on a date with Sam Crenshaw, and Sean is going out on a date with Karen. Karen's a girl that is friends with Ashley. Um, you know, she is friends with Ashley, and so Ashley's usually okay that Sean takes her out on a date, but in this case, she's not. Um, or at least the ninja's not. So, um, so Ashley's out on the date until Sam has to bring her home because disaster happened. Um, Something that we don't usually talk about on stream, but all of a sudden she was a girl. We'll put it that way. So anyway, he had to take her home. Well, and maybe she gave him gas money so he could gas up on the way there and go back out to the lake. I don't know. Anyway, it said in the chapter that a whole bunch of them are going to be there, and Sam said, "You sure you don't want to take Karen to the lake?" And Sean says, "Nah, she wanted to go watch a movie." Well, it's not entirely true, but well, yeah, I mean, yeah, it is, but anyway, so he asks, when he gets to Karen's house, he asks Karen, "You sure you don't want to go to the lake?" And she says that she got in trouble for 3 speeding tickets. She got in trouble for 3 speeding tickets, and she thought her dad would be proud. She was trying so hard to get to school. But he obviously wasn't, and basically, it's not actually said, but she's probably grounded. Or maybe since she was trying hard to get to school, that he just took her keys away. I don't know. I didn't develop it. It wasn't, it was not important to the storyline at all. But anyway, so they end up going to the movie theater. Now, Jesse is in one. Jesse is in his truck with Zach and I think we said Tristan. And anyway, Zach and other boys, and then Noah is to the left. I think they said. I think I said, and Jonah is to the right, or vice versa. Um. Anyway, they park. They park in the parking lot, but like Jesse is right behind Sean's truck, but in a a couple of spaces, a couple of spaces behind. And then they're all supposed to be guarding the truck from the ninja who's been messing with it. Well, it's daylight outside. She's not going to get away with much. But anyway, um, they're, Zach starts a conversation that, while they're driving over, Zach starts a conversation that obviously Jonah or somebody started in his vehicle too. Zach goes, "Did you see who took out Ashley just now?" And, it's like it just now hit him. Um, you know, Sam's a handsome guy. Sam Crenshaw is a handsome guy, and he's taking Ashley out, and Jesse's like, I wonder if Sean's jealous, and then he doesn't even wait a beat and says, I hope he's jealous, and then all of a sudden somebody does show up and breaks the window. And no, wait. No, that's later. Um Anyway, by the time that the movie's over, the tires are flat, but nobody's messed with the truck. Nobody at all has messed with the truck. And I think I need to adjust something in my story because I said that it was just a blinky light. And I think that's really weird because my dad that um that I think it was a Saturn just had a blinky light. But we noticed that it did have an alarm that went off. So, I'm a little confused. But anyway, I'm either going to leave that in and just hope that whoever's reading it has the same knowledge of car alarms that I do, or that, the person has more expertise than I do and will just laugh. Something. I don't know. I'm going to hope that's not a problem. Um, anyway. So Sean thinks that it's Ashley, and she gets home, or when he gets home, she's out in the yard doing something with Sam. Or no. She was out in the yard sort she was sword practicing with Chantel, because Chantel is the weakest sword master in the whole collection. Like, to call her a sword master is just wrong at that point. But Ashley's trying to help her get better, and so she tells Sean she hasn't been out, and it was true. I mean, except for the date. Um, if I wanted to put in a little more detail, I could put in something. I could put in something where she says that she already put her soiled clothes in the wash and put a big sign on the washer that says whose laundry it is. Says Ashley on it. I don't know if I want to do that, but kind of makes sense. So we're not gonna be hanging out on this side too much anyway, but like we've got the stone here, we've got the dirt block over here. I'm wondering, do I want to keep it all that, or do I want to put all stone, or what? Yesterday I did that and got very confused. Because I went down over here somewhere, over here somewhere, and ended up way over there. I'm like, I don't understand how. Yeah. Anyway, I'm probably gonna play a little bit of Dreamlight Valley in about 7 minutes here, and then probably go back to sleep. I don't know, but I didn't do as bad on Jeopardy as I thought I was going to, because I thought, I'm super tired. Well, I got a whole bunch of answers that I knew already and ended up winning $26,000. Too bad it's not real money. You know, if we had $26,000, we could pay off some bills, and I think it would be really nice. Really? It waited that dang long to turn off. Oh, I had the rest of the video playing. I was listening to a video and well, I was partially watching it, but mostly listening to it. And it's like whoever made the video called it dressing, but it was but they were talking about cornbread stuffing basically, and I was like, oh, that sounds good. And then it said day old cornbread, and I'm like, ew. Nowadays you can make you can make the cornbread out of a box, or if you're able to get one, you could probably get a recipe for cornbread and make it fresh instead of making it day old. But they said that it was day old so it could absorb the gravy. Yeah. Oh yeah, because it was cornbread. It was cornbread and gravy specifically. It's like the whole video is recipes that we don't have for Thanksgiving anymore, that or from like um before the 1980s, and some of it is like, oh yeah, I remember that, and then some of it's like, that sounds nasty. um but I'm a picky eater, so don't go by me. It took me forever to like Chinese food, more than just egg rolls. They used to have to, if I remember correctly, they used to have to order, like 4 egg rolls just for me, and everybody else would be, eating chow mein and cashew chicken and all that yummy stuff. We've got a place that has that kind of stuff, but the only problem is that they don't really speak English very well, and we don't speak their language very well. Or no, I'll upgrade that to at all. So so it's like so it didn't work so well, but yeah. Anyway, it was good food though. If I remember correctly, it was good food, good portions, and it I like Panda Express's food, but it does taste um it tastes fast foody. Um but what is that? What is that? Oh Oh, the silos. Oh, yeah. Okay. I'm like, what is that? I recognized the shape, and I'm just like, what is that? And it makes sense. It's the silos. Oh, it's 10, and we're not done yet. Well, we started late anyway. Yeah, I got a few things to do on Dreamlight Valley today, and I better do them now because otherwise they're never going to get done, and they have to get done before Wednesday. So we're going to do that today too. Unless this takes us until 11, and then, then we'll try to get it done a little bit later today. I said I was going to do it after dinner, and I didn't, so. Oh, I was going to say, I don't even remember what we had for dinner. Yeah, I do. Oh, and we finally got 365, so nobody has to worry about me not making stories anymore. Anyway, we went to Dairy Queen. I'm like, what would we be able to go to Dairy Queen? And I was actually literally just saying that I wanted ice cream and then we could have dinner at home. But, that's why I usually call it Dairy Queen, because for some reason I can't remember that it's Dairy Queen. But I do remember that they've got a $7 meal deal where you get chicken or a cheeseburger and fries and soda and ice cream. You can get ice cream sundae or a cone, I think they said. Or was it ice cream sundae or Blizzard? Yeah, Blizzard. Anyway, wait a minute, no. Oh no. This is what happens when you're building when you're tired. Now I gotta take all that out, put all this in. Because all of this is wrong. Or was I taking this out and I don't know. But anyway, whatever the was that I was, yeah. Let's fix it, and then, so anyway, Ashley gets upset, and they go, Chantel and Ashley go to Chantel's room. So Sean's knocking on Ashley's door, thinking she's over there. He wants to apologize. He wants to talk to her, but Chantel is not having it. She has a whip, and ever since the Amazon island, the boys are very scared of whips, and especially when there's a Havelock girl that is holding it. That's worse than the Amazon women. Um, Ashley and Chantel's last name is Havelock. Anyway, so he whines, Chantel, and and she's like, get out of here, or you're gonna be wishing you were back on the island. And so he goes back out to the front yard and sits in the lawn chair. Sits in one of the lawn chairs. Well, the problem with that is that when Sean was 11, and that's literally the last time anybody sat in one of those lawn chairs, um, when Sean was 11 and their younger, Sean and Jesse were 11, and their younger brother Brandon was 6, they got grabbed by their grandfather's mafia guards with William and Kat, their parents, and and Hayden, Morgan, and Ashley all got tied to the lawn chairs. So nobody sits in those lawn chairs anymore. Just in case. So this time I decided that I was going to have um, the movies. Oh yeah, that's something I adjusted yesterday too. The movies I really, 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 really want to be able to watch over and over and over again that happen to be on YouTube. Those are getting. I mean, those have a special spot right at the top of the list, and the other ones, they're lower on the list. And then there's, the ones where it's the family from Don't Stop Meowing, and because I do not want to butcher their last name because I don't know how to say it. I want to say it's an Arabian last name. I'm not sure though. So anyway, I don't want to butcher it. I know it starts with an A and there's a W in it. But anyway, you know, um, their videos and the FWIP and Pop's Disney Adventures. I know there's some in the list somewhere. I just can't find one right now. And and the Chronicles of Todd, and yeah, I subscribe to a whole bunch of people. I think it's Flounder the cat, which I think is a little weird because her mom calls her a fish. Um, she her mom does not have like some kind of human dementia or anything like that. It's just Flounder really likes the water. In fact, somebody yelled at I don't know why they even thought it was their business, but somebody yelled at her the other day because she's not a fish. She's a cat. Obviously, she's a cat. And it's like, you know, she basically said something like, "You call your cat what you want. I'm gonna call my cat this. I'm gonna call my cat what I want." Um, and I think it's funny because one of the things that she said in I mean, that she said in several videos is, um, it's like they live in Florida or something like that. I'm not sure where they live. 'Cause I could have sworn that there's snow there too. But it looks like a swampy area, which to me says Florida or Georgia. But there's um but I could have sworn that there was snow one time in a video. Maybe I made that up. But I could have sworn maybe. Or maybe they went on vacation and I just didn't notice. Anyway, whatever. Um, Wherever they live, they've got um, crocodiles, alligators, um, you know, like right uh, in the water right outside their house or pretty close to it. So, um, when they go visit, I don't know if her name is Pocahontas or if that's just what they call her for the videos. But they'll go on a water adventure with Pocahontas. It's like a surfboard, but they're rowing it like one of those gondola boats in I can't think of what it's called right now. Um, that town that is all water, and it Venice maybe. Okay, I can't remember right now. I think it is Venice. I don't know. Anyway, I used to know perfectly. It's on Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. Anyway, yeah, I think he says "Ah, Venice," and then he kisses the girl, and then later him and his dad have a conversation. I told you she was up to no good. Yeah, not direct quote. I told you she was up to no good. How'd you know? And then, his dad gets the look on his face. He kissed a girl too. And Indiana Jones says something like, "You're old enough to be her father." I think he said, "You're old enough to be her grandfather." I can't exactly remember, if that's what was said, but I think so. Anyway, yeah, okay. I started at around 8:15, and I do apologize for that, but that's when I woke up. Oh, and another thing is we got to get my lunch meat too, so that was awesome. And I found out on Christmas Day, I don't know if I shared this or not, but in one of my other recent videos, but I found out I can have pancakes from Denny's and I can have bread. So if I can have pancakes and I can have bread, then maybe maybe we can have a variety of peanut butter sandwiches every once in a while. Um, Maybe even peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. You know, a person misses certain meals when they can't have them because of dietary problems, or like because the person who used to make them lives in another state. Because I miss my dad's meatloaf. I very much miss my dad's meatloaf. Um, it wasn't too dry, it's not too dry. It's not too moist. It's just right. And I don't know how to make it, and I would not make it anyway because I will not touch raw meat. You have to be able to touch raw hamburger to make this meal, and I will not do it. I'm one of those people that does not like, getting my hands yucky like that. I don't like it. So I'm not a person who really cooks food. Like if it's a box mix, I'm great. But if I have to like actually take those raw ingredients and touch them, ugh. Or like I can make spaghetti. I haven't made it in a long time though because I do have roast issues. I kind of stopped making a whole lot of meals that I used to make because of my wrists. But I still make the recipe that my dad used to make this one recipe, and like we never had chicken nuggets all the time like we do now. We used to have them as a special occasion ish kind of thing where he got them for this recipe. I don't remember having chicken nuggets any other time. But anyway, he'd go and take the box of rice-a-roni Spanish rice and make it up and make up the chicken nuggets and cut up the chicken nuggets and put them together, and that was our meal. Like I say, he didn't make it very often, but I do remember that. And I remember every Thanksgiving he'd make the baked beans. And don't knock them until you try them. I think you will love them. But he'd put actual bacon in there, bacon strips. Well, eventually he decided to put in beef little smokies instead. I'm sure that if you wanted to, for a different flavor, you could put in the ones with the cheese in them, or any of the other little smokies, but we like to put in the beef ones. Anyway, I remember specific recipes, or like my mom used to bake my cake. She would not go to the store and buy one. She'd bake my cake. And one year we had we had Cookie Monster on the cake. And and she'd always get those little those kind of hard candies in the bacon aisle. And should always put something like that on there. So it said happy birthday um, and sprinkles, and it felt special because Mama loved me enough to make my cake. I know some moms out there can't do that. They either don't have the skill or don't have the time. And I'm not shaming you for buying a cake. Okay, after my daughter's first birthday, I always bought her cake from our local grocery store, Food Max. I used to always buy it. And there's a really good reason for that because I was just trying to make, and you would think that it would cook really quickly because it was a 8 by uh an 8 by 9, 9 by 9, whatever. Anyway, that circle pan. I wanted her to have her own individual cake, and it took forever. I don't know if I didn't have it at the right temperature or what, but it took forever. Great. Well, I'll get my husband to clean that up later after she's done. Bobby, I did not turn up the temperature. Maybe she needs water. I'll have to check that in a minute too. I don't know how I'm gonna get her. I don't know how I'm gonna get it to where. Great. The only person who's trying to chat with me all day is trying to sell me viewers. Yeah, let me go get him. Oh, I was like, that looks familiar. And I'm like, oh yeah, duh. Okay. I will be back. Okay, I'm back. Yay! So um today's Wheel of Fortune Jeopardy is Rare Books John Kasich? No, I mean Kasich? Kasich? Not sure how you say that. It's Kacich. I just really don't know how you say that, but um that's the title of the video. And paper towels are right there on my desk. Keyboard tray next to the HG. What are you doing? Yeah, because somebody was using it as a potty. I know it's a little soon, but I thought we'd start taking down the tree. It's just because it's a little living room. It really is. It's a little living room, and and we keep knocking into the jingle bells that are supposed to stop the boys from eating the Christmas tree. Bobby, I'm totally impressed with Bobby because oh, I got 2 viewers. Hi, viewers. Um, Bobby hasn't even tried to eat the Christmas tree. Just the boys. Um, and not very much this year. They're learning. Which seems a little weird because it's only up once a year, Um, we're gonna take it down because we keep knocking into it. Doesn't matter what we try to do, we knock into one of the jingle bells. We put the jingle. They're big jingle bells. They're like a kitty jingle ball. Um, no, they're no, they're actual just jingle bells. I just looked over. We do have one that looks like a jingle ball though, because it is. But they don't like They don't like the jingle bells. They kind of scare them. So that's why we put those on the tree. And this year, Ben decided at a couple of points that he was gonna play the bells. And it's okay. As long as he doesn't eat the Christmas tree, I'm good. Never did get it on video, but So we did not get a white Christmas, just in case anybody's wondering. We did get a bunch of rain. And it was really, really cold Christmas night. But we did not get a white Christmas. We haven't even gotten snow. It's a little crazy. The mountains have snow, but we do not. Okay. I just wanted to be able to have the snow for content anyway, so I'm afraid that our brakes aren't going to be strong enough to stop in the snow. So it's like I want snow, but I'm afraid that our brakes aren't strong enough, you know. We got an older truck and um what you said.
Trying to get the damn watch to connect to my phone, and it's just not downloading the software.
Well, don't you have to download the software onto the phone?
No, it's using the phone to connect to the watch. And the data needs to go into the watch direct that way.
So what are you trying to get to do? Like answer phone?
Connect?
No, I mean answer phone calls and
The work period. It won't even show me the time on the watch right now.
oh. You sure it's charged?
It's charged.
Don't yell at me. Doing the same thing you do with me, throwing out ideas until we get it right. He's trying to get his um smartwatch to connect to his phone, and the smartwatch is saying, "No, I don't want to connect." So yeah, um, the watch is being a jerk, and he's getting upset. So well, he's probably getting angry, but yeah, we'll stick with upset. Um, except for trying to figure out something to say. This is nice, peaceful, and something that somebody who didn't get enough sleep can do. Um, let's see here. Yeah, so I don't know how, but a $5 bill turned into 4 ones. I mean, so I had like a $5 bill and like 2 ones, something like that. And then somehow those turned, that turned into um, four ones. I don't understand how. But anyway, 'cause I had a $5 bill and four ones, and and some ones, and a handful of change, and I was gonna give it um to the guy that was sitting on the bench just outside of Denny's. He could have gotten something with it, you know. Um, I don't like giving them money actually because you never know if they're gonna, you know, first of all, you never know if they're really homeless or if they're just saying they are. But but more importantly, you don't know if they're using that on alcohol and cigarettes or if they're, you know, actually gonna use it for food. In this case, he had a puppy dog with him, and they usually are. Um, they usually are actually what they say they are. Anyway, I felt really bad for him, but then he wasn't out there when I made the decision he needs it more than I do, you know? So, so yesterday we ended up using some of my money, the four ones. Um, we used some of my money to get raspberry tea, 4 bottles, and I had totally forgotten about it. I drink that with lunch and sometimes dinner. Um, anyway, I can make 4 bottles last, at least a whole week if I have to. Um, I think that 4 bottles lasted more than a week. Anyway, whatever the timeline may be, I can make them last a long time. And well, the thing was is that we had to go to um. Okay, so we ate dinner at Burger King. You know, um, I think not Burger King. I'm sorry, Dairy Queen. Um, we ate dinner at Dairy Queen, and then we had to go to Dollar General. Well, we should have went to Dollar General and then Dairy Queen, but I didn't think that we were gonna go over there. But anyway, we went to Dollar General and got the raspberry tea, and then we went over to Walmart. We were hoping we were gonna one stop shop and it was all good. But no. What are you doing, Bobby? Anyway, but no, they couldn't have the family plan at Walmart. No. They want um they want you to buy the personal plan, and then you have to buy a personal plan for the other person in the house, and yeah. Bobby, what are you doing? You can do that to your furniture, not mine. She's a strange little cat. So so literally, thank God for YouTube because yesterday I was able to go and watch a I don't know what year it was, but I was able to watch a behind the scenes for the Thanksgiving Day parade. That was pretty cool. It didn't last very long, but it was still pretty cool. And then and then um it's probably last week or earlier this week I got to watch part of this year's parade. I'd already watched it on TV, but it was so weird. It was like um, it was a long parade, and they only showed like 2 hours of it, or an hour of it, something like that. It wasn't very long. I'm like, what the heck, So, so YouTube had more of the parade, and it had like more of the parade on this video, and then more of the parade on that video, and between the whole thing, I got to watch the whole parade. It was interesting. I remember when I was a kid, it started at 8 or 9 in the morning, and you watched it until you watched it until it was over, and it had. I'm pretty sure it had commercials, and it had those people talking and telling you what the next part of the parade was, but they weren't just yakking like they do now. If you're lucky enough to get the channel with Al Roker and I think it's Kathy Lee and Hoda. You know, if you're lucky to if you're lucky enough to get that channel, then that's what you're gonna hear is yak 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 yak. I mean, I do like them, but I don't want to see them at the expense of seeing the parade, you know? So I do like what you get to see on YouTube. It shows raw footage and you get to see the whole entire parade go by. But the person isn't always smart. I don't know if they have the same person every year, but they're not always the smartest. And if you watch the Fox one, um, most will be out of focus. The Thanksgiving Day Parade, I forgot to say that. I'm sorry. The Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. It's a it's a tradition. I always grew up watching it, and now that I have that, now that I know I have the ability, if we did go to my parents' house next year for Thanksgiving, we wouldn't have to worry about it. We could, have the Thanksgiving Day parade and still help out. Going and getting chairs and setting up tables, and um, Mom doesn't understand. Mama did and Dad does, but Mom doesn't understand that it's tradition and it has to be watched. It's just not right if you don't. But right now I've got the one from uh, 2021, 2022. I can't remember which one, but anyway, it's the one where it might actually be 2020. Anyway, it was during COVID, and Mario Lopez was the um, he was the Kathy Lee and Hoda person, and the host. Thank you. Yeah, he was the host, and he had his family on there. And the only thing that I didn't like about that is that they did not think to bring in some toys, so the baby was entertained. It seemed like they were um, torturing their baby instead of like letting her go play with toys or do something else. Maybe feed her breakfast. I don't know. They finally fed her a bottle and she calmed down for a little bit, but um, yeah, she was crying a little bit. I know that she's older now, so like if he hosted it again, it would be pretty cool because maybe maybe it would be a better experience. Um, which side am I supposed to be on? Oh, I am supposed to be on this side. Okay. Um, anyway. Um, there. Yeah, maybe I just start that and then I ended up putting it together a different way.